Hello, and thank you for joining me for my floating cup demo. Okay, this is from the live that I did this morning. I'm just finishing mixing up the paints here. What I'm doing is I want the paints to be slightly thinner, well, to flow a lot easier than they have on the other videos that I've done. The reason being because I'm going to flood the canvas now with white paint. I'm going to have a funnel as such. Okay, remember your canvases must always be level. The funnel that I'm talking about is just I've cut the bottom of a cup. Okay, so I'm going to place that upside down cup with no base onto that white paint, and I'm going to pour paint through. So this is why the consistency of the paint is important. Even the consistency of this white paint. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. It's thick enough to hold the shape. So, sorry, somebody was phoning me. Okay, I'm just adding silicone, a couple of drops to some of those cups. I was saying about the base paint. You don't want it too thick because otherwise the paint will not, when it comes out the cup, will not go underneath the white paint. Okay, you don't want it too thin so that everything just disperses. You want it to be thick enough to hold the shape of the paints when they come down. It's probably not making sense now, but you'll see when I do it. All right, so just remember, pour off the excess paint. You just want to make the surface nice and even, and also you don't want too much paint left on the canvas because it'll crack when it dries. Okay, I'm just getting rid of air bubbles. This is from a live, so you must remember people are still talking to me as well. Okay. There's the funnel. Okay, it's just a cup that I cut the base off. I start with white because I want it to have a little cushion. Okay, and what is going to happen is as I pour down that paint, pour the paint down there, and I'm doing the next color black. I always have a dark color because I don't want, a light color will disperse when that paint comes out. It will dissipate into the background. What's going to happen is as I'm pouring the paint down, this cup is eventually going to pop up. You can see the paint is already starting to come through. Now, if I was doing this on a long canvas, I would start I would start tilting the canvas now. So what would happen then is that the paint would then move as well as the cup as I'm pouring. And you can see the consistency of the paint is important. I'm just breaking that white barrier, creating some cells. Consistency of the paint is important because I want them all to be individual when they come out. I don't want them to be mixing in that cup and creating a muddier color. All right, that's about, I've actually put quite a bit of paint on here where I don't need that much paint, but I just wanted to be showing in the live video how to keep pouring. Okay, so now somebody asked me if you need to pour the paint off. Yes, you do, because there's a lot of paint on there. I mean, if you need to tilt, you have to, because there's a lot of paint. You need to get rid of some of it. Look at that gold and that pink there at the top. Isn't that beautiful? You have to get rid of the paint, otherwise when it dries, it's going to crack. Okay, you don't need so much paint. And also, when you're tilting, you're encouraging cells to come through. You're promoting those cells, the growth of those cells. Now, you can see here, especially with that burnt sienna, that brownie color, I put a lot in, and it shouldn't actually have been that much because it's created a really dense area. So the idea is to have more layers. I'm just heating up that black. You can see that it's creating cells and breaking that black up. That the black under that white. Okay, I'm talking about the burnt sienna, how thick it is and how dense it is. There's so much of it. So rather create more layers with less paint instead of a big area of paint. That pink and that gold have just reacted so beautifully. It's worked so well. And with the paint being slightly not too runny, those colors have held the shape. And the cells have held their shape. Okay, I'm going to blow that burnt sienna. It's just too dense for me. There's nothing coming through there. It's just such a dead area of colour. You can't believe how much colour there is still underneath what you see there. You'll see it now when I blow out the side. Just breaking up into that white paint, into that background. Okay. I didn't take any close-ups of this canvas, particularly just because I didn't like the pour. I don't like it. I'm just going close up for you with the video. I didn't take individual photos. I don't like my pores so dense. I like them to have a lot of negative space and to be lighter. So I just scraped this off and washed the canvas. Okay, and I'm going to sign off and say bye-bye. And I hope you enjoyed this.